My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Hey folks, welcome back. Today my special guest zooming in from Chicago, Illinois, or thereabouts. We have a very, very experienced real estate investor, a guy who's been in the trades, who's been in construction, who's been doing this whole real estate thing. I think he bought his first property at age 21. Adam Sondgeroth has built up a very significant portfolio, over 120 units, while working full-time at a W-2 job and raising a family and having a bit of life at the same time. So Adam, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Thank you for having me, Dave. I appreciate it.
So let's start with a little snapshot, Adam. If you don't mind explaining, what does your current portfolio look like and consist of? What kind of properties? How many units approximately? Like what size? What's your buy box? And where are they located?
So currently I have 127 units in North Central Illinois, between single family homes, smaller multi-units, and then I have a 21 unit deal I bought last August. I also have a multi-use facility that I run with my sons. It's a 12 acre parcel, and then I'm part of a syndication deal that I put together in 2022 in Jacksonville, Florida. That's 118 units as well.
Okay,
so
very. Yeah. What I'm curious, that multi-use facility property, what's it getting used for? What do you got on there? That sounds interesting.
So there's some storage, there's some manufacturing, there's some warehousing. Got a couple trailers parked on it, so there is some residential stuff there. It just kind of, we park some trucks on there, some semis, so it gets a lot of use for it. So yeah.
Sounds like it. Well, hey, and then your W-2 job, I believe you're working on the railway. Is that correct?
That's correct. I'm a bridge inspector for one of the big railroads here in the United States.
Nice. That brings back memories. I worked a summer in university on the railway. That is a tough gig.
It is. Well, it can be. I mean, it's
well, the work we were doing was the tough side of the stick. That's for sure. And I can remember I was so nervous. I was the youngest guy on the crew, and they were all standing around watching me hammer a spike. And when I finally finished, the foreman said, "That's impressive. I don't think I've ever seen anybody miss a spike more often." Because you don't realize the sledgehammer is like that big around at the end. It's not like the huge sledgehammer. So
Yep.
I'll always remember that. But I do have fond memories. I got better.
Well, that's good. That's good. Otherwise it'd been a long summer.
Yeah. So you bought your first property way back when you're like 21, and then it's just kind of progressed from that. How have you built up such a significant portfolio while still working full time and having a family, raising kids? Because a lot of guys with a portfolio of that size, they're doing it full time now.
Yeah. So I being with the railroad, we get pretty good benefits, and as well as our pension is pretty good as well. So it was always something I could do on the side. And I grew up doing construction since I was, 10 or 12 years old, so getting into it was fairly easy. I started as a kid, started working as a kid. My parents divorced when I was young, so I had a lot of responsibilities growing up. So it was pretty easy to juggle things. I had to go to school and sports and whatever else. So it just became a natural progression. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of one of the things, Dave, like I tell these to a lot of people, is like, what do you want? Like, do you want to be successful? Do you want to have a family? Do you want to live a life? What is it actually that you want? And I tell a lot of people that you kind of have to do some soul searching. Yeah. So I really just prioritized. That's what I wanted when I was a kid. I grew up fairly poor, so I decided I wanted more out of life. So I just started working harder, and with a young family, diapers and formula is not cheap. So
Yeah.
I wanted to make more money. So I fortunately my family was understanding, and my two sons never had a choice in the matter. I bought my first investment property in 2002, and my oldest son was born in 2000. He was born in 2000, or I bought my first one in 2001. He was born in 2002, so they've been around it their whole lives, and they never had
Yeah.
a choice in the matter. Like, we had to go fix a toilet, they came with. So,
Well, that was
uh,
what I was going to ask you as well. Do you self-manage everything yourself to this day, or how's that look?
the 21 unit deal I have is about an hour and a half away from me. I have a management company on that, but the other stuff I have a woman that works for me. She's a 1099 person that operates the day to day stuff, and I got a couple contractors, handyman guys that take care of the maintenance on stuff. One of my sons actually works for me. My younger son works for me now, so yeah, it's still a family affair. I don't have time for the day to day. I haven't had time for quite a while, so yeah, I got people.
Hey there, if you're a capital raiser, a syndicator, or a fund manager, and you're looking for a steady flow of incoming accredited investor leads, then go ahead, grab a free copy of my new book, How to Get 20 Accredited Investor Meetings Every Month Without Cold Calling, Networking, or Chasing People. You can get that at 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Again, that's the number 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Very, yeah, well, that is fantastic. So, uh, what's kind of your end game with this, Adam? It sounds like if you had a great career on the railroad, that's pretty good, at least up here. It's a very good salary, good pension, the whole
Yep,
bit. So
yep.
what's the end game when it comes to the real estate portfolio? What do you want to accomplish with that?
So I'm still buying, Dave. I'm still building. I'm still buying. My plan over the next 5, 6 years is to have 500 units of my own that I own and operate.
Mhm.
So I'm still looking for multifamily in Illinois, Indiana, and Tennessee. We're still looking. Um, but I don't really have an end game plan, I guess. I still want to keep going. My youngest son will for sure be part of the business, and my older one seems like he has some interest as well. So we're going to keep going, keep building, and just to sound too cliche, build some generational wealth. So
Yeah, well, absolutely nothing wrong with that. And getting the
yeah.
boys involved is exciting and probably frustrating at some times too. Working with families sometimes can be a challenge.
Yeah.
So you said you want to get up to about 500 units in your personal portfolio. Does that mean you're going to self-finance everything? Or are you going to work with partners? Are you going to syndicate more deals? What does that side of things look like, kind of the capital
So,
side?
so the 500 units will probably be more partners. I'm currently kind of selling off some stuff on my portfolio to kind of reconfigure some of that and get rid of some of the headaches and kind of streamline some of that so it's a little bit easier to manage, which will give me some flexibility and financing options as well. Um, but yeah, it'll probably be some partners, I don't know as if I want to go the big syndications necessarily. I mean, I still won't shy away from syndications if I find some good deals, but at the same time, it'll be smaller, more opportunities for people to stay in a deal. Syndications tend to be they're just like you're flipping multifamily. So
Yeah.
you get a deal, you fix it up, and you sell it a couple years later, and then you got to go buy a new
And
property.
hopefully, a lot of guys went in with that plan a few years ago,
Yeah.
and it hasn't quite panned out that way. Yeah, I was
Right.
thinking
Right.
that in the back of my mind is you sound like a long-term buy and hold generational wealth kind of guy
Yep.
versus in and out
Yep.
flipping quick. So, so yeah, so if I'm understanding you correctly, Adam, you want to buy more properties, but you want to keep it in the family long term. But to
Yep.
do that, you might bring on some joint venture partners who kind of bring up some of the cash. You bring the deal, you bring the know-how, you manage things day to day. But instead of doing big syndications and trying to get out quick, you're looking for more like long-term partners. Am I understanding that correctly?
Definitely, Dave. Yeah, yeah. I don't like to sell stuff. And the very first investment property I bought, my first investment property became accidental after we bought had to buy a new house, and my first house became kind of a investment property. And the second one I bought which was intended for investment property. I just sold it a couple of weeks ago, and I bought that one in 2002.
Yeah.
So I tend to hold on to things for quite a while.
That's a long flip, man. That's a long, long, long flip.
Yeah,
That makes
yeah.
sense, right?
So
Because that's what it's all about. Yeah. So
right.
what when
So
you're looking ahead for these 500 units, what's kind of your in your market area, what's your sweet spot for the size of property that you can buy with a few partners? You don't have to do the syndication. What kind of size properties are you looking at?
So generally, 25 is kind of small, but it's kind of if you can find a couple 25 unit deals in one market, it's pretty good. But 25 to 80, 75, 80 are really kind of nice size deals, And yeah, I'll I put some of my own money in, but getting in partners and some investors is you don't have to have 100 guys putting in 100 grand or something, on a deal. So they're nicer, they're easier
Yeah.
deals to manage. And the less people you can have in it, I've talked to quite a few investors now that want to hold stuff long term. They don't like this. Well, if we sell it, then we got either 1031. I got to find someplace to put this money. Just if you can get cash flow checks monthly or quarterly, that's what it's all about. Is
Yeah, I mean,
cash.
that was the whole original purpose of this whole passive income idea with real estate. And it
Right.
seems like it got a little bastardized the last few years when things were all go, go, go with multifamily. They could flip them like that.
Yeah.
But
Yep. Yep.
yeah, it
Yep.
never made a lot of sense to me either. It seems like, hey, you go to all that time, effort, and trouble of finding a really good deal and optimizing it. Why not hold on to it long term if
Right.
you got
Right.
partners with
Yeah.
the same mindset, right?
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. And I found quite a few people that are more interested in that than just flipping things every couple of years. So
Yeah, no, that is great. That is fantastic. So, through all these years of experience, I mean, you've been a very hands-on kind of guy. You got tons of experience in construction yourself, and I think that's a big part of your profession still. What do you think is kind of your secret sauce when it comes to real estate investing, Adam?
I kind of learned early on, Dave, if I wanted to have any success at this, I'd have thick skin for one, because tenants will tear the shit out of stuff. I had to be
Sorry,
resilient.
you broke up. I didn't hear what you said there. You have to have what?
You have to have thick skin for one, because tenants will tear the hell out of things. You have to be resilient, and you have to kind of be a no quit kind of attitude, because I've heard no a lot in this business. You know, I'm not very good at hearing no, so that's been good. So I've figured out how to get it done when the banks have told me no, or I couldn't find investors, or I couldn't find money for something. I always found another path. I found guys that'll do owner finance, guys that'll do private loans, um, stuff like that. Half of my portfolio was done through creative financing. So
Nice. Yeah,
yeah.
getting creative. Well, that's kind of part of the fun of the game too, isn't it?
Right. It is. It is kind of the thrill of the hunt and how can you figure it out? How can you get the deal done is a lot of the fun. So yeah. Yeah.
Awesome, Adam. Well, we got a pretty broad listener base and viewership to the show. So, who are you looking to connect with? I think I was looking on your site, and it seems to me like you've got a bit of a passion around working with other guys and gals in the construction background and those kind of areas that you like chatting with and talking with them. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, I've like I said, I've been in construction pretty much my whole life. I started with my uncle when I was 10 or 12 years old. So I kind of understand the ebbs and flows of that, and being on the railroad, and sometimes we work a lot, sometimes we don't, sometimes it's just 40 hours. But in Illinois, we have some seasons, and the seasonality of construction work can kind of
Hey, man, I'm
cause.
Canadian. I can relate to that.
There you go. You know what it's like if you can't work in the wintertime, or your work slows down, you need more money. So I kind of tend to resonate with those kind of guys, and they're not the quote unquote white collar guys, but they work just as hard and probably make just as good of money. So I've always resonated with those kind of guys, and it's something I'd like to help them understand how they can still make more money or make money and not have to take care of tenants, toilets, and termites. They can let their money work for them. So um, that's kind of been where I've kind of pointed myself towards, I guess you'd say.
That makes sense. So, Adam, if people want to connect with you, where should they go? What should they do?
I'm on LinkedIn. They can reach out to me there, or my website, whichever one. LinkedIn is probably the best, so they can hit me up on there and we can chat or whatever.
And what's the name of your website in case people want to check you out there?
Sondgerothcapital.com.
Perfect. We'll make sure we got that in the show notes as well. Adam, this has been great. Thanks for being on the show, man.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you, Dave.
All right, everybody, take care, and we will see you on the next one. Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewsyou.com.